Good morning. As you can see, I'm not sitting out at a campsite somewhere. I'm sitting in my living room. I am inside because with the humid index today, it's going to be 40 degrees Celsius, and I'm not a fan of the heat. I prefer it to be colder. If you're cold, you put more clothes on to stay warm. If you're hot, well, there's a limit to what you can take off without scaring people. The humming that you're hearing is in the background is from my air conditioner, which is keeping me cool. But this morning I want to talk about something a little different. Some people have told me that maybe I should be making a video that does a product review, and I thought about that, and I don't feel I can add anything to that that's already not out there on YouTube. There are many great videos that show different stove types and give their evaluations. Lots of sites about tents, and there's a lot of kinds of tents that are available out there, and it goes on and on. I really can't add anything to that really to be any more helpful. But what I am going to do is just show you what I use. I'm not saying it's the best, I'm not saying it's the worst, I'm just saying that it works for me, either because it's available or because it was less expensive than somebody else, or just because I've had no issue with them in the past. And as well, this I think is a given. Bring a compass with you and a map. This map shows where I'm going to on my trip on Monday. To me, that's obvious to bring these two things with you. But I was out a couple years ago in Algonquin Park on Penn Lake, and this guy paddled up to me and asked me if I had a map of the area because he was lost. I said, well, where's your map? Oh, it was on my phone, but my phone died. Well, I have a map on my phone, and depending on where I'm going, I'll bring a GPS with me, and if I get a map from Maps by Jeff on my GPS, I'll bring that too. But anything that runs on batteries could wear out, and if your charger is dead, then you're sunk. But paper and compasses will work without using any battery power. I did take a course 2 or 3 years ago about exactly how to use your compass and your map so to not get lost. And there are videos out there about even showing you how to find north without having a compass. I suppose you've got your compass in the water or something like that. There's videos out on that too. But yeah, I always bring a compass with you, I always bring a map with you and know how to use them. It's really helpful. When I am paddling, I can't film while I'm paddling, I have nowhere to put my phone. So I will bring something to store my phone in, so if I do dunk, it won't get wet and stop working. What I do with these are, they're not very expensive, they just seal up. But every springtime before I go out, what I'll do is I'll put a piece of paper inside here, seal it up, fill up my bathroom sink with water, and drop this in there for 15-20 minutes. And then open up at the end. If the paper's still dry, then I know this is good for another year. As well, of course, the other thing that you want to make sure is dry is your map. But lately I've been using a much larger map case here. This one came from my friend Andy, and it's a lot larger than most. You can put in, depending on the size trip, you can put in the full size of your map here and zip it up. My compass will either be around my neck or in here, so it's getting both ways and easily accessible. And actually, a small thing, I also will often bring in a pen to make notes about my trip. That will go in here too, and it just sits. Actually, even in my canoe, it will sit on top of my pad. So when I'm paddling along, I can actually be looking at it while I'm paddling. And that way, I can look at the map and look at where I am, and hopefully not get lost. Let's look at this. I've often said in my trips that I go out because I want to get out of the city, I want to just relax, be comfortable, not looking for a huge adventure. I am looking for waterfalls many times, but I'm going up there to relax. So I will bring with me a hammock. There are again lots of different varieties, types of hammocks that you can bring. I own two. This one I bought at my local outdoor store. But there's many different types that you can get. As long as you can find trees anywhere from about 8 feet to about 16 or 17 feet apart, you can put these up and relax. And this one weighs about 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds, and for me it's well worth it. So it is. Also bring in a chair. When I was younger, I didn't bother with a chair or with a hammock at the time. I just would find a rock to sit on, or I would sit on the ground back up against a tree, which is fine if you're in your 20s, maybe 30s, whatever. But I'm in my 60s and I want comfort. So my comfort is a chair and a hammock. So I'll make room for those in my car. Talk a lot about food. I do own a couple of dehydrators. One is working right now. That might be part of the humming that you hear in the background, so I am planning a trip in a couple days. So I will dehydrate hamburgers, so I can put that in pasta. I'll dehydrate spaghetti sauce again for the same thing. I will also dehydrate chicken, and it's pulled apart, so pulled chicken, and I mix that with some veggies and some rice, and you see a bit of seasoning, and those are all things that you can buy at the grocery store, so they're fairly easy to purchase and not that expensive. And I do have a whole bunch of freeze-dried meals. I usually take one out on each trip, and then I'll dehydrate the rest. Again, there's all different kinds of companies out there that will make freeze-dried meals. They're all roughly the same price, anywhere from $14 to $20. I've seen that at local outdoor stores. And I do have 3 outdoor stores within a 20-minute drive of my house. I'll also bring with me again, there's two different brands out for this, but it's a sink. Put it down here, put it up. There we go. So I can wash the dishes. I do have 2 of these types. I also have a round bowl type sink. I won't say the brand because I don't like that one. This kind here, I can fill it that much up with water and it retains its shape. So if I only have 2 of the dishes that I want to wash, this is great. The other brand I have comes in a bowl. You can buy, I think, 2 or 3 different size bowls for it. However, I think the smallest bowl is 5 liters. You must fill it up all the way, or else it won't keep its shape. And when I'm going out solo, probably if going out just with 2 people, getting 5 liters of water in there to wash 4 or 5 dishes is, to me, it's a waste. So I don't like that one. So I won't mention the brand, but you might know what it is. Going back on comfort, this is something I joked about when I was a kid. Not a kid, but when I was in my 20s. I would never leave room in my car for a pillow of any kind. But now that I'm in my 60s, yeah, this is great. Let's take this out here. Nothing much to plate it. There we go. Now I have something to put my head on, and at night, oh yeah, I can fall asleep. One thing that everybody should bring with you is, well, inside this bag I have a tarp. This tarp is just 9 feet by 12. I was looking for a nylon tarp that was at least about 10 by 10. I couldn't find one locally at the 3 outdoor stores that are in my area, so this one I actually did buy online. You'll see in the video how I've used it sometimes. Again, I know, I'm not sure about everybody else, but when I go out, it always rains. And whether they're calling for it or not, if it rains, so a tarp is really handy. You want me cooking in the rain. I often set my tarp up so I can walk out of my tent and walk under my tarp, so I can stay dry even going from my tent to my area for eating. I will have to walk out to grab my food that I have stored away. But one thing I haven't seen people talk about a lot is different dry bags. I'm going to pull out 3 different kinds here. You've seen the one, I keep my tarp in the one, but these are 3 different brands. I will mention the brands. You can see on here. This one is called Sea Line. This one is a Sea to Summit. And this one is, see that? Where is it? Where is the name? Woods. These come in 5 liter, 8 liter, 10, 20, I think 30 is probably the biggest you can get. These are 3 different brands that I know of. I know that we'll mention MEC. They carry their own brand. I haven't used them at all. This is a bit of a review. Sea Line is the lowest price brand that I've seen. They all work. Okay, one doesn't work better than the other one. They all work. They all work the same way. You roll up at least 3 times, and once you roll up 3 times, then you clip them. There you go. This one is just at the Sea Line is the lowest price I've seen. They are a bit heavier. Okay, so they won't compact up as much, and they do add a bit more weight to your pack. Sea to Summit are a little bit more expensive, but they are lighter. The fabric is thinner, but they work just as good. Not better, not worse, just as good. But they will compact up easier and smaller, and so they take up a bit less room in your pack, plus a bit less weight. By Woods is similar in weight to the Sea to Summit brand. One thing that's different on these, one thing that you want to do with your packs, you roll them down, you want to get out as much air as possible, so you get it more compact. Well, this is the only brand I've seen that they put a little release valve in them. So you roll them up, open up the release valves, push out more air out of it, and actually get these up to be quite small and quite compact in your bag. So I do make my own fire starters. I use one each night. They're pretty easy to make. That is 8 cartons. Go to your local pet store and pick up some wood shavings. I bought a bag about that big of wood shavings back in 2015, I think it was. 10 years later, that bag is still half full, and I've used these a lot. And then you go to the hardware store, or in springtime you go to the grocery store and pick up some paraffin wax. I find that 1 pound of wax will seal up a whole 8 carton, so it's 12 fire starters. These will burn for about 15 minutes, which should be enough to get your fire going. Speaking about having fires, you want to go out and gather firewood. One way of getting wood is forage for wood, and don't pick up any wood that's maybe thicker than 2 of your fingers. That way you can break it into pieces and put in your fire. if you want larger ones to have a longer fire, then you must have either be lucky and find pieces that are about that big, or bring some kind of saw with you. Again, there's all different types of brands of saws out there. I've got friends with videos of different saws. This one that I bring with me is a megawatt, and they come in, I guess, 3 different sizes. This is the middle size, and I like having, say, a 45-minute to an hour fire, just to relax and unwind, and usually I will bring in. First thing, you need to have water with you. When I go paddling in, all my water goes into an Nalgene bottle. I have about 12 of these at home here. They're all full of stickers from parks that I visited. And I actually bring in, I actually bring 2 of these in. I actually fill them both up with water before I leave. That's iffy because of course I'm adding weight to my pack. Really there isn't any need to do that. When I'm out in the woods, I will use, the filter I use is a Canoe filter. I have a video you'll be seeing now of me using it. With this type, it fits inside the bottle. So that fits inside the bottle. You go down the waterfront and you pump. And maybe in about 2 minutes or so, you'll have a full liter of fresh water. There are other ways of doing that. I have used in the past tablets. They're iodine tablets that kill parasites in the water. Drop in the water, shake them up, and then wait a few minutes, and then I'm ready to go. I do have a friend who, when I was out with her a few years ago, she has a UV pen, and they kill the bacteria in the water, Giardia, by using ultraviolet rays. You take this pen-like thing, turn it on, put it in the water, stir it up, and I believe it takes a minute or 2. If I recall correctly, there's a little light on there that will change color when the water is ready to be used. That's yeah, so you have your water, stove. Again, I've used a stove that runs on white gas for years. It was fine. White gas has gone from being about $10 for a tin to $40 for a tin, so they're very expensive. So I switched part for that reason. And I switched last year, 2 years ago, to using a propane stove. This is the one that I use. It's pretty small. It's kept boil. Again, you're watching videos now of me using it. The only thing I find with this one as compared to what I used in the past is it's a smaller top for pots and pans. Other than that, it works fine. You will see in the videos that I have a small stand for it. Quite frankly, sometimes I've forgotten to put the stands on and the tin just sits finally on the ground. But if I am using a larger pot, then it could be handy. And it fits, right inside a small pouch. It takes up a lot less space than my old stove did, so that's good because I want to save space for my hammock and my chair. These little tins here, you can get these. This is a 230 liter tank that I use. You can buy one that's 100 liters, so it's half the size of this one, or one that's 450. You see on here, I do. You see that very well. Yeah. I marked down how many meals that I've used this for. This is to time number 8. The stove's on here. This is meal number 8 for me with the one canister. That is so far so good. This could be the 10th meal. I was hoping to get at least 4 out of it. 4 nights, I mean. This will be the 5th night. So I'm happy with the stove. I'm still fairly new at using these, but I found that they last for somewhere between 12 to 14 meals. So I check them off, so I know before I go, okay, this one I've got 7, so I've got roughly 5 meals, or at least 5 meals left in the stove. But again, to save space, you'll see in the video that I use these kind of containers that are made by Cedar Summit. This is actually a teapot. This is actually in here you've got a cup, bowl, and a frying pan. Or, sorry, how about a frying bowl? There we go. So I can basically, everything that I need to do my cooking with basically is there. And the way it folds up here, let me just, it all folds up inside there, nice and neat and tidy. This one brand is Cedar Summit, I can say that. I did buy, a lot cheaper, a knockoff brand, again through Amazon, you probably get it elsewhere. It's a little bit larger, it's a lot cheaper. There are 2 things about it that I don't like, I don't mind saying this. One thing is, on the Cedar Summit, it all locks up in place with these little tabs here. In this brand it doesn't. I have to use an elastic to seal it. As well, this, I thought was a small thing, but the big thing is this little holder here. It's fastened in on this on name brand. This one is not. It's little clips which can fall off. When they fall off, you're boiling your water or making your meal or whatever, you have nothing to hold on to pull this out with. And mine fell off before. Look, I do need a frying pan. I did pick up again a Jetboil frying pan. This one is non-stick. So again, if I'm having pork chops or steak on the first night, which I often do, it's handy to have. Knife, fork, and spoon. You can get, I think you can get something out of your kitchen, more or less. These are a little bit more compact. Knife, fork, spoon work the same way. They come in a nice little pouch. Getting them from almost any outdoor store, so it's no problem. I won't speak much about this because it's pretty standard. Some Thermarest is a brand name. Okay, sleeping pad is likely is what you want. Again, when I was in my early 20s, when I first started going canoeing, I didn't bring one. I could sleep on the ground without any issues. Now my back gets sore when I do that. I do have back issues, so I'll bring in some kind of sleeping pad. Thermarest is a brand that I've used before. There are other brands out there. I used to have one called Sleep Jack or something of that nature. I don't remember, but it worked fine too. Again, all different shapes and sizes. Shapes because the newer ones now, to make them smaller, more compact, and lighter, they're actually mummy shaped. That's why I'll bring this one. I prefer ones that are a full rectangle because you have more room to toss and turn, which I often do. But I'll bring that just because it's a lot more compact. Sleeping bags, again, there's all kinds of sleeping bags out there. This one is very compact. Canoe is the brand name, but again, not pushing any brands at all, just bring that with you. I did go out once hammock camping. I have friends, Dennis, you're one of them, that will do nothing but hammock camping. When I do hammock camp, I don't bring in a sleeping bag with me. I just go right in the hammock and lay there. I have no problem falling asleep in the hammock. When I bring a tent, again, there are all different brands of tents out there. Eureka was a very common brand, it still is. But as everybody knows, they're getting out of the tent business. But there's all kinds of other tents that are out there. Woods make decent brand tents. MEC and Sail, I think, have their own brand names. Northern Face, I believe, is another option. There's all different options for tents out there, which is probably why you were getting out of the business. There's lots of options that are excellent options. This one actually, without the Outdoor Adventure Show in Toronto, Mississauga, actually, about 5 years ago, I guess it was. Maybe 5 years ago, maybe 6. And Fiactive had a booth there, and they were showing their cots, their tables, tents, and I think they had some tarps there too. I barely heard of the name before, because when I was looking for a tarp online before, I couldn't find any ones I wanted in local stores. I actually bought one online on Amazon. Fiactive was a brand name. It was waterproof to 5,000 mil, which was more than I've seen for anything. And I have been out with that before. 3 days of rain on Penn Lake. I didn't set the tarp up properly, so when I woke up in the morning, the tarp was on the ground. The ropes had stretched out because there was so much water on the tarp. I managed to get the water off eventually, but my backpack and my chair and everything else that was underneath it was bone dry. So at that point, this is good. So this is actually it's an American-based company, but this is the one that I've been using for the last 5 years. Again, you watch the video here of watching the tent, how it's set up, and it's about 4 pounds. You can probably find ones that are as low as 3 pounds, but 4 is alright. And again, this is very well waterproof. It's a 2-person tent, and it really is a 2-person tent. I do have a sleeping pad that's 4 feet wide, which is roughly what you have if you took people in a sleeping bag, and it will fit inside this tent. Whereas other brands that are 2-man tents are really about 1.5. You can sleep in there with your partner, because your partner will be on top of you. But with this tent, it actually is a 2-person tent. You can sleep comfortably 2 people in the tent without any issues at all. That's why I bring it, and it's also, I've been out before in pouring down rain, out in the middle of a thunderstorm. The thunder and lightning happened at the same time, so right in the center of the storm, and this tent kept me dry. So, but I'm not trying to push one tent brand over the other one. It's just what I use. And here it is, my home for the next 3 nights. Last of all, you need something to put everything in, and this brand, this was actually made by Eureka. I'm not sure if this still could be in that business because they are getting out of the tent business, but this is our tent to pack. So supper is all done, dishes are all done. Now to put the bear vault away somewhere for the night. First thing you have to do, you turn this over 5 or 6 times until you get some fuel built up in there. Then that's what you can light. again, I'm not trying to push one brand over another. I'm not doing a review. I'm just saying this is what I use. This is when I go out, and I go out and enjoy myself and I have a good time, and I never have to worry about about my gear. So hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you get out there and get in some good backpacking or some good canoeing in. It's great. It's great where we live. We live in a province where there's millions of lakes, or okay, thousands of lakes, and go out there and enjoy them. I want to thank you all for watching another Camper 69 video, and if you like the video, please click on the like. It helps other people to find my page, and if you like to, please subscribe to my account. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.